Political prisoners.
Free them all!
Political prisoners.
Free them all!
Last night, with a voice from Gaza itself, Dr. Ghassan Abu Sita said that Shifa Hospital was surrounded and the Israelis were shooting at anything that moved, so that all patients who still remained alive were lying on the floor. That is the reality of what's happening. 20 hospitals have been destroyed in Gaza. That is absolutely genocidal activity against the population, and the people who are in hospital are died because there's no more oxygen. As soon as the Israelis got near to Shifa Hospital, they shot at the oxygen pipes. The babies in intensive care, the adults in intensive care have died. That is what the Israelis are doing. And yet our media continues to say that it's self-defense. This is genocide. And the Elbit8 represent absolute fantastic direct action, taking action against the armed companies in this country, Elbit Systems in particular, which is part of arming and funding the Zionist settler state of Israel. This is vicious, violent genocide against the people who have the right to their land.
Palestinians have been murdered. Palestinians have been martyred. Palestinians are rising up against this oppressive regime. They are standing up for their peace. They are standing up for their rights. From the river to the sea,
Palestine will be free!
from the river to the sea,
Palestine will be free!
from the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free!
That's right, from the Mediterranean Sea to the River Jordan, we want to see one state of Palestine. We want to see Jews, Muslims, atheists, all people of all creeds, all religions, all backgrounds living together in peace, in harmony. There will be no peace under an apartheid system. There will be no peace in an oppressive system. Free! Free!
Palestine!
Free! Free!
Palestine!
Voice of the people, through social media, through talking to others, through sharing and dispelling misinformation, through dispelling the lies that have been told on British media, through images and videos that have been coming out of Gaza, that have been coming out of Palestine, Palestinians in Gaza telling us of the situation, correcting the misinformation, telling us exactly the war crimes they are committing, exactly what has been going on for the past 75 years. Without this, I do not believe this would have been possible. That is why we must keep talking about this. We cannot just come out on the streets and then go home as if nothing happened. We have to talk to our friends. We have to talk to our families. We have to keep posting on social media. I know it sounds like such a Generation Z thing to say. I understand this. But it is so vitally important that we uplift Palestinian voices, that we uplift the voices that are talking about this, that are risking their lives being targeted, being blacklisted, talking about these things. Journalists being harassed, journalists being murdered by the state. How many hostages have been taken by Israel? How many people have been imprisoned and murdered by Israel for talking about, posting about, just sharing information, showing solidarity to Palestine? How many? They say release the hostages. Which hostages? Every single Gazan is a hostage under the Israeli state. Release those hostages.
The last time I saw a big demonstration was for the war in Iraq. And the Labour Party and everybody believed us and Stop the War people said, well, this will stop the war. We'll get them all out there. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't know how many millions there were, you know. What we really needed that time was an initiative how we're going to carry on that fight, not how we're going to stop it. So Stop the War actually stopped the people from going to war. Our campaign by stopping it there, stopping the people from taking action. So the question still remains, how do we take this fight to the ruling class? And it's the one thing that's not been put at those meetings, as far as I know anyway, that how are we going to get people to withdraw labour? Those people, I know from my own experience with demonstrations, that you get a high point. And I think that this cause, we've reached a high point. The next demonstration will be 50,000, 20,000 and 10,000. Because the people have said to us, these people who tell us they're going to stop it, they're not interested in stopping it. They're interested in keeping the thing going because they're making a good living, a career. Stars and they've left, or whatever else you might call it, but they're not going to stop the war. They've never really tried to stop the war. They've never made any attempt. or any ideas of how we're going to stop Netanyahu's machine and the ruling class machine that's backing him up, American and British imperialism and French imperialism to a lesser degree these days. So we've got to actually think things out ourselves, and we've got to drive this ship ourselves, like the women taking the boat to Gaza. All right, they might lose, but that didn't stop them taking the boat to Gaza and sacrificing their lives if need be. Nobody was going to commit suicide, but they did it. And they set up a lead. Now it is out to us and our trade unions or whoever else they give our money to in the labour movement to say, now it's our turn. We must take a lead because the unions have let us down, Stop the War has let us down, everyone else has let us down. We know there's only one way to defeat the ruling class here, and that is withdraw labour. But we've got to find a way at the workplaces of getting people to take a one-day strike action worldwide. Now, I know that there's a big community in New York that's actually interested in this. They've had a meeting, there's something like 2.5 million Jews in New York. Most of them are actually on our side. People were afraid of them, and the American government will say, oh, we want to worry about all these Jews in New York. The Jews in New York are on our side. They're on our side. And those people are the people who can block the dock workers, who are get out and do the militant work on the streets. They're the people that are on our side. The Jewish people in London are on our side. I saw only a handful of Palestinian flags in the windows. And what is beside it? Jewish group. It's the Jews who have got the guts and the brains and the wherewithal to stand up when the rest of our trade unions are not. Show me a trade union shop or a trade union building where there's flags, Palestinian flag is flying high. There are none! Because they're making money and making a good living out of making and saying what they're going to do. But they're not making the call. They're not putting the money into this. They're not producing the leaflets to say, we want a one-day strike next Monday. We want everybody out. We want all our friends and comrades across the world out on strike. That is what you do to start, and from there you start to build. You get your feedback from your workers and then you start to build. But until that, it is all talk. It is not even talk like this, like ours. We are there at least to support people who are fighting. Where the hell are the trade unions? Where are the MPs?